It is a brisk October evening here in Tacoma, where tonight at Cheney Stadium, Tacoma Defiance plays host to Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on ESPN+. Delighted to have you with us. I'm Andrew Harvey, alongside Dave Clark. And Dave, both these franchises looking toward 2020.
Yes, particularly the Switchbacks. They just signed 2018 Coach of the Year, Alan Koch. This will be his first match in charge. So it's on the road at Cheney Stadium where he'll start to assess his players. Absolutely.
It is military and first responders night here at Cheney Stadium, and as a result, we have a slightly different player feature. Taking a look at the Colorado Switchbacks, Tucker Bone and Austin Daly, both who have elected to serve their country.
Yeah, two Air Force Academy graduates are in the lineup regularly as options, whether for their coach on the bench or in the 18. And that's Tucker Bone, who just got his first assist in USL play, and Austin Doing, the Air Force Academy graduates. We're happy to see those officers here on Military and First Responders Night.
On the other side of the ball, Tacoma really has been strong in the middle of the park, particularly in that win over Fresno, and you say that Jesse Daly is a big key to continuing that trend.
Yeah, not only did he get the first assist with that heads-up play, looking to break lines. When the defense is working right for Tacoma Defiance, it's because people like Jesse Daly are winning the ball early and making it so the center back's job is easy.
It should be a real battle here at Cheney Stadium, and we'll have our eyes on it for you. Tacoma Defiance plays host to Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC next on ESPN+. Welcome back into Cheney Stadium here in Tacoma, Washington. Moments away from kickoff between Tacoma Defiance and the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Time now for our multi-care pre-match health report. Denzo Ulysses unavailable tonight. A stress fracture in his left leg. And this has been your multi-care pre-match health report. Let's take a look at the starting 11. Up first for the Switchbacks, as named by head coach Alan Koch. Obviously, Jordan Burt, the man up top, has drawn a lot of the attention. 7 goals on the season for him. Meanwhile, Ismaila Jome, the left back, 4 goals, 6 assists to his name. He leads the team. And Jordan Schweitzer, the former Sounders 2 and Academy product, slotting there as the holding mid. On the other side of things for Tacoma Defiance, as named by Chris Little, they'll roll out in that familiar 4-2-3-1. The holding mids, Joss Atencio and Daniel Leyva, they'll have their hands full tonight. But that is quite the attacking band between Ocampo Chavez, Hopiao, Justin Dillard, and Jesse Daly pushing forward. We talked about him on our pre-match report. He'll be playing as the 10 this evening. Your referee is Danielle Chesky. Assistant referees Adam Sanchez and Cameron Seiler. The fourth official is Ben Oakley. Tacoma Defiance coming into tonight's match. 6 wins, 19 losses, 6 draws. They've been better at home. 5 wins, 7 losses, and 3 draws. They'd love to take 3 points here, but actually jump Colorado Springs in the standings if they did so and get off the bottom of the table in the Western Conference. Switchbacks, 7 wins, 20 losses, 5 draws overall, but have had some difficulties on the road. Just 1 win, 2 draws, and 12 losses to their name. Defiance will be wearing their black kits with white trunks. They will move from right to left on your screen here in the first half. Colorado Springs in all white. This is blue stripes down the front. We'll head back the other way. Dave, how important is it for Tacoma here to get a fast start? Maybe not as fast as Justin Dillon managed that one time when he scored a goal in 9.7 seconds, but fast nonetheless.
I think it's a good night for them to take advantage of a team that's still getting used to a new coach, to have this attacking band that has scored so well late in the season. Justin Dillon with 6 goals in the past 12 games, as well as Ocampo Chavez with 6 goals in the past 12 games. Shannon Hopia with 4 goals, all 3 of them with at least 2 assists. The attack has been quite good lately, and tonight should be a night that they can put up goals.
Abraham Rodriguez getting set in his goal. Trey Muse down the other side.
We're not going to lose Rodriguez in the lights today. That is a bright orange he's got on.
Right you are, Dave. Yeah, it's got to have those keeper kits stand out in the contrast. The keepers like it too. After all, with the special kit come the special privileges, like your average shoulder charge apparently being enough to give a free kick. We're underway here at Cheney Stadium. 90 minutes of USL Championship action for you here on the weekend. Dillon turns that ball, tries to go ahead for Ocampo Chavez, just comes off his back. And Sebastian Anderson fights his way to it. Daly sticks a foot in there, can't come away with the ball though. And it's worked to the near side for Watubaye. Well, Dave, I'm sure we'll talk about it more at halftime, but one of the big stories for Tacoma right now, 3 players that have spent time with the club this season, although none of them technically are on Defiance contracts, recently named to the U.S. U17 World Cup roster.
Yeah, did you get a trip to Brazil when you were 17?
I think I got my lunch bill paid for by my parents when I was 17. That's about all I got. Ball over the top here, looking for Dillon. The flag's gone up, and that looked like a pretty near thing at the edge of the defensive third there, Dave.
Yeah, I think he was maybe a quarter of a stride off on that one. Tight call, but that's kind of what Justin Dillon can do. He can press that line and force it to run back.
Has really found a way to be effective all over the pitch. Here's another look at it. Not the best angle, but the flag goes up against Dillon in any case.
It's one of those cases where he wasn't even upset with the call. It's not like he glared at the AR or the center referee.
Hughes knocks that out to Ocampo Chavez along the far side. Hines back to the keeper under pressure. Hopiao given away there. This one picked up by Argueta. Watabaye, and over to Joan. Reeves will press up the middle. Attempted flick, knocked away by Rogers that time, doesn't get far enough.
That's the type of defense that Defiance look good while playing. They're pesky.
Campo Chavez trying to harass Reeves. They go to Watabaye along the far side. And under pressure, he knocks it out for a throw-in. Hopiao trying to time his run here. Rodriguez read that all the way. That look has been there for Tacoma Defiance at times over the course of the season, but it's tough to pull off when you have an alert keeper who's ready to charge off his line.
Yeah, but it makes the keeper stay aware and alert about what's going on. You notice on that one, both Justin Dillon and Shannon Hopiao saw the same channel. Looks like that's going to be a play we'll see a few times this evening.
Switchbacks control it. The back pass to Rodriguez here. He'll have to deal with pressure from Justin Dillon. Only gets the ball as far as Leyva. Ocampo Chavez to the near side. Now back to Hines. And they pull it back to Burkholz and recycle. Some nifty footwork from Anthony Burke-Gilroy back in the lineup tonight. And of course, obviously Denzo Ulysses with that stress fracture stepping to side. But Burke-Gilroy's been bright at the fullback position this season.
Yeah, they really like him with the ball at his feet. He keeps his head up. It's one of the advantages when you have a number 10 fall back into that role. He's used to having the ball at his feet and looking for those passes that'll break through lines.
Ocampo Chavez, not much in the way of support. He's closed down by Tucker Bone. Probably something of a surreal evening for Tucker Bone. More on that moment as Ocampo Chavez is pushing into the middle. Gets that ball away from Reeves. Gone down in the penalty area. Appeals for the call and nothing given. Nick Hines went down with pressure on his back. We'll see if we can't get another look at it at an appropriate stoppage. Hundley up the far side draws the free kick, and that's going to draw some remonstration from Shandon Hopiao along the far touchline.
Jesse Daly and Shannon Hopiao asking if that's a foul, why wasn't the earlier moment a foul?
Well, it's the uncomfortable truth of soccer. Here's that look in the box, and Dave, what do you make of this?
That would be called in midfield, and it's one of those cases where sometimes a referee doesn't want to give it that early in the game.
One of those bizarrities of this sport of ours, Dave. A foul is not always a foul, depending on where on the field it takes place. Argueta turns under pressure. Far side for Hundley. Hundley's cross is early, lifted away by Sam Rogers. Flag is up for offside. Back in Tacoma's end of the field. They'll restart with the indirect kick. This is Argueta. He'll go for it with his left. Came off the heels of Rogers, gone out for a corner. Ismaila Jome, the left back, teeing up the in-swinger. What kind of ball can the Gambian serve? Comes to the near post and headed right back out of play.
I've always been intrigued by fullbacks that can operate as set-piece specialists.
Jome gets a second try at it here. Header taken by Dillon and then volleyed clear. Hopiau brought down at midfield. That'll draw a free kick. And a talking to and a booking for Saeed Robinson. Danielle Chesky has the yellow card out of her pocket and wastes little time putting the Jamaican in the book. Here it is again.
An unfortunate bounce there on Hopiau and just gets his leg clipped from behind. There's no shin guard on the back of your calf.
And Defiance, just a little cavalier in possession right now. Some of these balls pressing forward, Dave, have been too easily turned over.
Yeah, and it's almost their square and lateral balls that are kind of causing the trouble now. Those are the ones that coaching staffs tend not to like to go wide.
Daly's ball downfield, blocked by Argueta. He boxes him out. And here comes Hundley. Getting the return. Hundley from distance. In the end, can't put any venom on the shot for Trey Muse. Bert Gilroy can't beat Jome. Thrown over the top for Daly. He's gone down a little bit theatrically there, hasn't he, Dave?
Yeah, he wanted that call, but I don't know that he should expect that call.
He is onside as he comes back for the ball, though. Defiance still in possession. Atencio trying to slide it through for Dillon. Too vertical.
That was an alert ball by Josh just to see that that angle was even available.
Rodriguez under pressure. The sight lines here at Cheney Stadium, if you're a keeper and you're not familiar with it, honestly, if you're a keeper even and you are familiar with it, can be difficult to deal with.
Tacoma a little bit too greedy on these long balls over the top, but at the same point, the coaching staff isn't going to be upset with that. If it works, it puts them in on goal.
There's Burt winning the throw-in.
It's the defensive third and central third passes when those go errant that the coaching staff gets frustrated.
Thrown to the head of Burt. Robinson looking to turn. Tucker Bone is there. He'll do battle with Daly. Tapped down by Jordan Schweitzer. And like we mentioned, Schweitzer, former Sounders 2 player, applied his trade here before securing a move to Orlando City B at the time.
He's gotten a Canadian men's national team call.
Collision over along the near touchline. Alex Burkholz and Jordan Burt Both feeling the after effects. And I think they're going to call for the training staff. Here it is again, Dave.
Both of them running in on it. Looks like they stumbled together, and it's really the aftermath there with the tangled legs and arms that things went wrong.
Absolutely, no. Definitely a foul against Burkholz there for coming in through the back. But that momentum where he just continued and wound up rolling up a little bit on Bert's leg.
Yeah, it looks like in no way was Burkholz going in for a foul that heavy, but his feet went out from under him and two men went tumbling to the floor.
Well, game time temperature is hovering around 53 degrees. But I should say with the ground, when it starts to firm up a little bit, it's been sanded down recently by the grounds crew. It can feel pretty solid when you make contact with the big ball, as it were. So Burt going to come off here after receiving attention from the trainer. He'll have to miss at least this set piece. Jome and Hundley, the options over the free kick. And a couple of tall options waiting at the 18 for him. It's Hundley. He drives in a low ball, sent back out by Hines. And Burt is ushered back on.
Defiance had a lot of respect for that free kick service. They had no one up and ready to sprint out on a counter.
Dillon toward Ocampo Chavez. He's disrupted. Referee wanted the play advantage. Didn't see any. Free kick Tacoma. Ocampo Chavez doing battle. He's rounded his man here. A low cross gets beyond Rodriguez and gets beyond everyone else. It'll roll out the far touchline for a Colorado Springs throw-in. How about that effort from Alfonso Ocampo Chavez to shoulder his way past Sebastian Anderson there?
Yeah, he's under heavy contact here, and the lighter, smaller man manages to just dribble wide and create himself enough space to get that cross off. Looks like Shannon Hopia didn't anticipate it getting all the way through.
6 goals on the year for Ocampo Chavez, 2 assists. Been pretty productive down here in his time in Tacoma. Here's Burt Gilroy. He's tripped up by what the referee deems to be a fair challenge.
See here, the switchbacks pass it back to their keeper, and immediately Dillon, Hopia, and Ocampo Chavez close down those lanes.
Leyva in for Daly. Not afraid to do the tough running is Alfonso Ocampo Chavez. He's proven that well in advance of tonight's match, but he's proving it again here. Ocampo Chavez, he'll drift wide this time. Back for Leyva. Atencio. And they'll reset back to Rogers.
Defiance's midfield triangle is very interesting today because you'll see Daly, Atencio, and Leyva all occupy each role that's available.
For Gilroy, he'll look for Hopia on the far side. Hopia going at Hundley. His cross takes a touch on its way through, gone out for a corner. Ocampo Chavez to the far side for the set piece. He'll pleat short. Daly back to Ocampo Chavez. Serves in with the left, looking back post. No one there, it's gone out for a goal kick. Well, Select is the official soccer ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Jome is around Daly here. Cuts it inside for Hundley. Hundley surging forward to his left foot, back wide for Jome. A sliding challenge comes in, disrupts Jome, and nicks the ball off him for a goal kick to the left back's displeasure. What a tackle.
And this is only Anthony Burke-Gilroy's 5th appearance at right back. That's an impressive tackle and solid positioning for the youngster who's learning a new role.
Robinson drops it back to Argueta. Slid forward to Tucker Bone. Tacoma wins it back. Hopiau was looking for Leyva in the middle. Schweitzer to the far side for Jome. Going underneath the Hundley. And a long-range effort that will sail well wide. And we're going to have our first sub of the game. Jordan Burt has been unable to shake off that contact he suffered with Alex Berkholz a couple minutes ago. And he's going to come out here for Cesar Romero just 21 minutes in. Romero gets his 18th appearance of the year now for Colorado Springs. Here's a look at that shot just now from Hundley. What kind of impact does this have on what Colorado Springs were trying to do, Dave?
With the new manager in charge, and they aren't using Shane Malcolm this evening, that Colorado Springs is going to have to make changes early. It's going to disturb whatever game plan they had together, and they have a shout.
Onside this time. Tries to cut it back. A lot of defenders around him and the ball, and they win it away cleanly. Dave, pardon the interruption there. The action took us away.
It's all good. It's a narrow bench tonight, too, for Colorado Springs, for players that are trying to prove to Alan Koch their usefulness here in 2020 when they have their new stadium and everything for Switchbacks there in the city.
Just 5 on the bench. I guess 4 now, technically, with Romero on. And only 3 of the remaining options are outfield players. Hey, if you're a sub, you probably got a pretty good feeling about your odds to get in the match tonight. Burke-Gilroy gone ahead for Hopiau. Hopiau manages to get the cross in. It's played out by Watabaye.
Yeah, he might have had a quarter inch available to him more on that cross to pull it off.
Well, Defiance used something off the training ground for their first corner. Here's another look at the cross.
That's a pure speed run and just gets the single touch off.
Ocampo Chavez into the middle, headed away by Jome, only as far as Leyva. Leyva's shot blocked at the point of attack. And Said Robinson looking to play it into space. Now he'll pull it back. Colorado Springs elects to possess. Tacoma's got it back at midfield.
slowing it down now just to get themselves back in their standard positions. Rogers and Burkholz had been way up top for that corner.
Over the top for Daly. He won't have a chance to become involved in the play. Picked up by Rodriguez. Levis pass, nicked away by Robinson. Here's Bone. Long ball forward from Bone. Anderson does battle with Alex Burkholz. Still in play after he's gone down. Anderson drops this ball back. Robinson is there. He's going to have a go. And Trey Muse collects it at the right post.
I think that's one where Koch will talk to Anderson about not popping back up quickly rather than asking for the call.
We'll try Dillon over the top. He's tripped as he goes through. Free kick given. Christopher Reeves will feel a little bit hard done by here. But it will be a free kick for Tacoma at the edge of the attacking third.
And that's a card in her hand?
Daniel Chesky has the yellow card in her hand. And into the book goes Christopher Reeves in the 26th minute, second man already. Dave, yellow card for you, yes or no?
Looks like I think it was just out of frame there, but it felt like the arm was up near the back of the neck that pushed Dillon down. But that ball was moving faster than the cameraman could, so I didn't get the best look.
Fair enough. What can Tacoma make of this set piece? Short restart to Hopiau. It's a low shot from him. Knocked back out, I believe, by Reeves. Burkholz flicks along the header. Rogers gives chase. Tacoma has a throw-in along the far side. Anthony Burke-Gilroy thrown into Dillon. Now got the last call. He's not going to get that one.
No, that's the similar call that Jesse Daly was asking for earlier. And there aren't many referees that are going to call it that tight.
Hundley along the far side. Gone ahead to Romero. The overlap for Joan. And another sliding challenge from Burke-Gilroy. That one comes off the corner flag and will roll just out for a corner.
Speaking of coaches reviewing film, I think that one might be reviewed too, because Berkey could have run onto it and not given up the corner.
Corner from Hundley to the back post. A lot of traffic there. It's still in play. And now it's not. Gone out for a goal kick. Well, tune into ESPN3 on Saturday, October 19th at noon Pacific time for a special game of the week to close out the 2019 season. A home playoff match is at stake when Real Monarchs SLC hosts Sacramento Republic FC. The winner hosts a playoff match, while the loser potentially goes to the play-in game. Catch all the drama Saturday, October 19th at noon Pacific on ESPN3. Dillon brings that ball down. Ocampo Chavez making the run. He won't be rewarded with the ball. Instead, it's to the far side for Hopiau. Going at Joan. Drops it back to Leyva. Leyva tries to fan it to the back post. Knocked away by Reeves. Tucker Bone with it. Far side to Hundley. Romero. And back for Hundley. The cross blocked for another corner.
Burke-Gilroy is quite active out on that wing. It looks like some of what Colorado Springs expects to do is pressure him this evening.
It took a moment to get a ball to Matthew Hundley. Now he's ready for the corner. This ball swung in. Muse goes for the punch, still loose. And shoveled clear by Alex Burkholz. Ocampo Chavez wins it. Lays it forward to Leyva. Some options at the back end. Back to Ocampo Chavez. And forward still for Hopiau, who's onside. Hopiau's cross to Atencio, comes right behind him. And Jesse Daly was pursuing to the middle of the box. It's cleared away by Colorado Springs.
Not often you see your halftime center back defensive mid on the end of a cross on a run like that.
Yeah, big end-to-end play. Tacoma nearly pull off the move. Thrown into Bone. Loses out to Leyva. And Hopiau loses it out the far touchline. "30 minutes gone here at Cheney Stadium in Tacoma. 0-0 between Defiance and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Atencio slides in to win the ball back, but it comes all the way through to Romero. Atencio slides in again, and this time Tacoma's on it. And Rogers frustrated with himself there. You just see the body language after he sent that ball away. Clever touch there from Watabaye. Schweitzer. Pressure on his back. Up to Robinson. Robinson can't control the hot pass from Jordan Schweitzer. Tacoma so far, particularly these last 10 minutes, Dave, have really been on the ball in terms of getting into possession, but they haven't been able to do much with it.
Now, we've seen two great opportunities from Shannon Hopiau, but neither time did the cross connect with anyone in the box.
Leyva manages to settle that ball. Sends wide for Hopiau. Hopiau going to cut to the byline. Drops it back to Leyva. Tried to get cute with his dribble, get around Schweitzer. He managed it, but the ball is cleared away. Hundley. Far side to Robinson. Plays it square to Bone. Bone, the return from Romero. Laid off for Robinson. In the end, it's tripped up and tripped away before being smashed over the left field wall.
That one's going to go so far north it might wind up in Schweitzer's childhood home in Everett.
Well, fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the Championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. On that goal kick restart there, Dave, a bit of trouble for Tacoma Defiance. Colorado Springs trying to step up the pressure, and they've got the ball. Here's Bone. Bone, a low shot from distance, it rolls wide.
Yeah, Tacoma just was way too patient with the ball at their feet, allowing Colorado Springs to set up high pressure in a way that frustrated Tacoma's ability to pass out of the back.
Daly comes in against Argueta, wins the ball. Goes to Hopiau. Hopiau to his left foot. He stumbles in the box. Still on the ball is Hopiau. A low shot. Blocked and gone out for a corner. Tacoma's third. How about that recovery from Shannon Hopiau, who juked everyone so well he nearly threw himself to the ground.
Did a fine job opening up space. Just frustrated himself a little bit with a single touch, but managed to recover it and turn and open himself even more.
Ocampo Chavez plays it on the ground. Turned inside by Hopiau. Back to Leyva. Ocampo Chavez defended here by Tucker Bone. Cuts into his left. Back to Daly. Daly takes over for Ocampo Chavez. He lifts that ball to the back post. Rodriguez goes up, doesn't get it, still loose along the goal line. Rogers laid back for Dillon, and he's stood up in a major way, courtesy of Cesar Romero. Striker on striker violence there.
Generally don't want your center back with the ball at his feet inside the penalty area. I think if that had wound up at anyone but Rogers or Burkholz, here you'll see it. They beat the keeper. It seems like Rogers is just wondering what to do at that point. Not able to pull off an effective shot or pass.
Still pretty good cyclical work from Tacoma Defiance to get that ball to the wide channel. Served an inviting looking cross from Jesse Daly. Have not yet been rewarded. Colorado Springs, meanwhile, remains very dangerous every time they get the ball with an inch of space in front of them. This one laid forward for Burt Gilroy. He slides in, as does the other man. Abdul Watabaye got there first, put it out for a throw-in. Burt Gilroy down, and I think holding his hand, and I think it's the hand that's not already in a cast. He had to undergo surgery to repair a fracture in that left arm, and now it looks like the right arm is taking some bit of a beating.
Well, we'll get another look at that collision. Both go to ground, and it looks like that that right hand just kind of caught his own body.
And Burt Gilroy perhaps a little bit fortunate to not be whistled for a foul there. He was a little bit late in on that slide tackle. Back pass to Rodriguez. Can't get much on the return ball. Leyva's got it. Now it's Daly. And Jome wins it away from him. Swung near side to Anderson. Anderson's cross, a searching ball. The clearance blocked by Bone. And Burkholz shuffles it back to midfield. Might take a kind bounce here for Alfonso Ocampo Chavez. Can he hit the afterburners? Down the sideline he goes, losing out to Reeves. Hundley turns to the far side. Can't hold it in play, though.
That's still the play that Colorado Springs wants there. If he's not going to win that and hold it in play, he cleared it well down the line, gave them opportunity to reset.
Through ball here, finds Hines. Hines is crossed, comes behind Dillon. Reeves turns, he'll knock it clear.
It's a beautiful pass to Nick Hines there.
Leyva picks his head up, thought about going downfield. Hines can't link back up with him on the return. Schweitzer, Bone, now Anderson. Argueta felt the pressure, he goes all the way back to his keeper. That's gonna be on Rodriguez. He kept it out of the goal. Unbelievable. He clears it off the line. And Reeves is gonna have a chance to turn and play this ball clear. The back pass got behind Abraham Rodriguez, and he turns, retreats into his own net, and managed to clear it right off the line.
And Tacoma are quite hungry right now. They see this as their opportunity.
Here it is again.
Looks like he just gets his feet crossed up here. If he didn't get that one touch, it would have gone in on his own. That initial toe tap is what kept that out of the net.
You know, there's an old adage in sports where you have to find ways to make yourself look good out there, but that might have been a little bit obvious in terms of the setup, Dave.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to go in his positive video recap era.
As a keeper, Dave, you have to be so mentally strong. But what starts to happen in your head when there is a mistake like that? You manage to clean it up, but does it linger in the back of your mind?
Well, I only played one half as keeper, and the reason that happened was because I managed to score on myself. So you could say it lingered in my mind.
Sometimes one half is enough for a lifetime, Dave. Tencio turns at the edge of his own defensive third. Goes to Hines. Tacoma working in possession here.
Little three-man game with the Tencio, Leyva, and Hines. They aren't able to break through the Colorado Springs defense, though.
Rogers wanted to go down the line to Hopiao. Joan jumped the route. Joan and Hopiao tie up. What a run from Ishmael Joan. Joan looking for space for the cross. Knocks that off of Burke Gilroy. Wins another corner. The fifth of the match for the visitors.
Burke Gilroy's putting a lot of mileage on today. He's not going to hit a 2-hour marathon, but he's getting a lot of mileage today.
That ball headed back across the face of goal. Stays in for Hundley here. He rattles in the second ball. Cleared away by Tacoma. Some shaky moments for the Defiance back line here in the 44th. The throw in quickly to Hundley. His cross blocked, comes toward Robinson. Hopia lays it inside to Daly. And Tacoma has a chance to dribble clear. Campo Chavez. He's brought down behind the ball. He'll stay down. A ball into space for Dillon. Won't find him. Meanwhile, Campo Chavez still down along the near touchline. Tucker Bones sees it. He'll lay the ball out of play.
Tries to get the turn here. Looks like a knee-to-knee contact.
Just kind of a lunge from Sebastian Anderson there. Those happen. They do really hurt. But more often than not, you are able to shrug them off and continue. And on the restart, Defiance will knock it back to Rodriguez.
Center ref played a fair advantage there, and Defiance nearly took that opportunity.
Rodriguez caught out in possession. Hopiau slides in. Gets to the ball, but it's trickling to the far sideline. Boy, Dave, Colorado Springs head coach Alan Koch is probably going to have a word with his goal grinder in the locker room at halftime. Here's Hopiau. Hopiau whistles wide to the right post. We'll play 1 minute of added time. Just Hopiau closed down, forced to a wide angle there. In the end, couldn't put it on frame. Rodriguez has us back underway, well into the minute of stoppage time. Watabaye back to Rodriguez, pressure coming. He slides it up the line. Daly slides in, won't get to the ball though. It bounces over to Anderson. Atencio pulls it away. Daly. Back for Atencio. Tacoma working it back toward midfield, and that will cause referee Daniel Shesky to blow the whistle and end the first half. Some excitement in the late goings, but no goals to separate these two sides through 45 minutes. We'll take a break here on ESPN+, and when we return, we'll take a look at what's going on around the rest of the USL Championship. Don't go away.
Charging through, has to go! And what a strike it is! Oh, that's sensational! Oh, what a strike! Saved by Bettleson! They only left it fly, more on the save.
Oh, glancing header, and he caps it off with the goal of the night.
That one served in the back of the net. Fresno out of nowhere.
Middleton serves it into the back post. It's off the woodwork and it's in.
Ball swept in, back post, headed on, centrally, into the corner, and Hubbard does even better.
Moberg's gonna take a shot on goal with a cross and a fantastic save.
Good shot for Blackwood. Nice play by Van Oekel
To force him to give the ball up. Illich saved.
Goes in the attack.
Hurls and scores! Oh, Seguro!
Moshobani again. Back heel Moshobani! He did it again!
Whips it in, finds the back post. Oh, what a finish, Arturo Rodriguez. Demos the other way, Demos saved by Hara.
In the middle, still Jaden Nelson. His shot, it's saved again by Giuliano Chache.
Wide open. Fitzgerald covering the mark, still Rodriguez, and stopped by Fitzgerald. And there is the final whistle. What a victory for Tacoma on the road.
Welcome back into Cheney Stadium. It is halftime here in Tacoma between Tacoma Defiance and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Welcome back in here on ESPN Plus. I'm Andrew Harvey alongside Dave Clark. Dave, lots for us to turn our attention to in this one. Some really good chances, some really big defensive gaffes that both teams have managed to recover from so far. But before we get into all that, let's take a look at what's going on around the rest of the USL Championship. Here are some scores from around the rest of the league's action right now.
Lots of big matches through this week. You're going to not see it on the board, but one I really want to call out is that San Antonio win on the road at Portland 4-3. That pushes San Antonio up to 10th in the standings. We'll see those in a moment. That Tulsa Roughnecks New Mexico United is an important one. New Mexico doesn't get the win. That's going to place huge importance on their home match against Tacoma Defiance here midweek.
Absolutely. Let's take a look now at those Western Conference standings. Like you mentioned, San Antonio, with that win over Portland Timbers 2 on Friday, bumped themselves into 10th place. There might be some movement up and down within this table, but just look at how tight it is over those last couple spots, and it's just as tight in spots 11 through 15.
Yeah, 11, and I think it's New Mexico is in around 12th. They have the midweek with Tacoma Defiance. Austin Bold, they're in 7th. They come here next Saturday night. So Tacoma Defiance will influence who makes those Western Conference playoffs.
Absolutely. Let's take a look now at some of the major headlines going on around the USL Championship right now. One of the biggest ones this week, obviously, is the naming of the U17 World Cup roster. 3 players on USL contracts are going, 2 from Orange County, 1 from North Carolina, but as well 3 players who've spent time with Tacoma Defiance making the trip to Brazil as well.
Yeah, 2 of the starters here, Alfonso Ocampo Chavez and Danny Leyva. And then on the bench is Ethan Double-Lair, who surged into prominence here just over this summer. Having great camps, has a goal here with Tacoma Defiance. It is now an attacking midfielder going to Brazil for the World Cup.
Absolutely, and likely someone that we will see here in the second half. A second note, obviously, the NWSL playoff bracket is finalized. That matters to us here as we share Cheney Stadium with Reign FC. And 3 of the 4 teams in the NWSL playoffs have ties to a USL team. North Carolina Courage tied to North Carolina FC.
North Carolina FC, and then you have the Timbers 2, Portland Timbers and Thorns organization. They're going to go on the road to North Carolina for their match. Reign FC are going to go to Chicago for a semifinal. Both of those semifinal matches are going to be on October 20th on ESPN2.
Absolutely. And then, of course, our final story for tonight, Austin Bold striker Promise Isaac, who tragically passed away 2 weeks ago, honored by his teammate Andre Lima, who scored this goal.
It's a nice goal here, and you watch Lima here in the celebration. He's going to brush off a couple of his teammates because he's focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's Austin Bold's forward, Promise Isaac, and celebrating his life.
Yeah, just a really, really terrible tragedy. Of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to his wife, children, his teammates, and friends and family, the entire Austin Bold FC community, the USL Championship. Our hearts are with all of you. We'll take a break here on ESPN Plus and return for the second half, 0-0 between Tacoma Defiance and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC through 45 minutes. Welcome back in to Cheney Stadium here in Tacoma, Washington. 0-0 through 45 minutes between Tacoma Defiance and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC for you here on ESPN+. Andrew Harvey alongside Dave Clark for the second half. But really quickly, there was one play that stood out above all the others in that first half, and it was this back pass to Abraham Robinson that wound up getting behind him. And
yeah,
again.
You see here, he just attempts to play the ball back, and Robinson's first touch gets past him. He got enough to slow it down, but had to make a miraculous save. Pull himself out of the net. Colorado Springs did a great job of clearing the ball at that time because Defiance were hungry to take advantage of it.
And just here is the other angle. This is probably the best camera angle. Pardon me.
But that's a situation where Tacoma Defiance, a few minutes later, they pounced on Robinson as well, where they saw the ball at his feet. Ocampo Chavez almost picked him off. They turned it into an opportunity for Shannon Hopiau to get a shot off as well. They've been aggressive in pursuing Robinson. It's interesting. He's normally a good ball handler. He's got an 86% success rate passing within his own half. He's not a keeper that's known to have those kind of gaffes, and yet tonight he's had 2 of them.
Well, we'll certainly see if he manages to kind of bring his nerves back under control. Maybe the break will have done him some good as far as that's concerned. Switchbacks leading the shots battle 6-4, including a 2-0 advantage in shots on target through 45 minutes. But really, both these teams have generated quality scoring chances. There just hasn't been anyone on the end of the ball.
Switchbacks are getting their success out on their right side, and Defiance are getting their success, well, on both flanks. So Ocampo Chavez late in the first half has turned into somebody creating chances, but most of it has come at Shannon Hopiau's feet.
2 men in the book of referee Daniel Chesky through 45 minutes. Saeed Robinson and Christopher Reeves, both from Colorado Springs, have been cautioned. Cesar Romero, the lone substitute to this point in the match. He checked in for Jordan Burt, who went off with an apparent injury about 21 minutes in. We're back underway here at Cheney Stadium. Leyva wants Hopiau up the far side. Going over the top. Is Hopiau on? He is. Pressing forward. The ball's run away from him. Picked up by Rodriguez.
An alert moment there where Hopiau, when he was going down under that contact, still tried to flick that ball over to Justin Dillon. Falling over, couldn't get the toe punch that he wanted, but that he even had that thought while tumbling to the ground was impressive.
Here is Romero. Romero, big touch, going to the goal line. Shepherded off the ball by Jesse Daly. This week, U.S. Soccer and Think Taylor are working to promote concussion education during Concussion Awareness Week. From October 6th through October 15th, the 2 organizations are asking everyone to take the hashtag TT Pledge, an oath that everyone involved with the game become more aware of concussion symptoms and recovery. Visit recognizetorecover.org for more information. Here's Hines. Atencio. Hines will reset to Burkholz. We'll try the left side for Ocampo Chavez. And he is offside. Flag gone up on the near touchline.
That was a little bit of that patient possession that just eats yard by yard by yard, slowly advancing everybody into the end. With all of those touches, though, they all have to be clean, because if that's your method towards goal, just one little error ends the movement.
Colorado Springs fighting their way to it here. They lay it forward for Tucker Bone. Bone drops it back for Argueta. Argueta from distance, and that one safely into the hands of Trey Muse.
I think Tucker might wish that he had one-timed that.
Rodriguez finds Chome to the near side. Chome sizing up Shannon Hopiau. The left back has it. Works it back to Rodriguez. And it definitely looks like this Tacoma side's been given the green light to run straight at Rodriguez every time he's on the ball. See if they can't put him under some more pressure, Dave.
Defiance have nearly a 60-40 possession advantage at this point. You figure with a possession advantage like that, and the keeper's been a little bit shaky today, they should be, Coach Little might be thinking that he'll get at least a goal out of this.
And there is Chris Little there. Certainly, despite the way that the season has gone for Tacoma Defiance, he has high expectations. This a quick throw-in for Justin Dillon. That one gets beyond Rodriguez. The far side of Campo Chavez with the ninja kick, can't break it down. Rogers' pass picked away by Hundley. Hundley's pressing forward. He's gone down there. He's won a corner. Rogers came in and cleared the ball away from him.
Hundley gave a similar look to what you saw from Jesse Daly when he was brought down earlier. You see here he's dribbling aggressively towards goal, doesn't get the move. There is contact, but...
Chome, space for a cross. Dillon steps onto the ball and manages to dribble his way clear. Schweitzer knocks the ball into touch along the near side. Free kick won by Colorado Springs in their defensive half. Back they go to Rodriguez. Campo Chavez rolling wide to provide the pressure. Rogers, the header at midfield. Controlled by Chome. And out for another Tacoma throw. Hopiau, second time tonight, he's kind of lost his footing going for a ball that he might have kept in. Low hit ball. Argueta gets a touch to it. Bone as well. He's looking at Anderson. Stumbles a little after the challenge from Jesse Daly. Here's Tucker Bone still pressing forward. Wide now for Anderson. Anderson looking into the middle for Romero. Burke Gilroy, the initial header. Saeed Robinson trying to settle it. Schweitzer up to Bone. He's got pressure on his back from Burkholz. Anderson. And it's won away by the Defiance. Opio has that ball roll into him. Did he intentionally handle it? Well, free kick's been given. I guess not for a deliberate handball.
I think he basically surrounded it with his body, making it unplayable.
This is Hundley. Hundley's cross. Pumped back out by Hines. Schweitzer trying to serve it back.
Good sustained attacks by Colorado Springs there. They weren't able to convert anything, but it's the most danger they've created probably since Reeves got the yellow back in the 26th.
Daly in through the back of Argueta here. He's giving away the free kick. And Danielle Shesky has the card in her hand. Jesse Daly put in the book here 55 minutes in.
The ball in.
Certainly Dave Daly's good enough to know he doesn't need to make that tackle. More pressure, they go back to Rodriguez. Dillon this time the one to apply it, and they win the throw-in.
At some point, these forwards want to be rewarded for their high pressure. They're not. They're attackers and goal scorers, not defenders.
Ocampo Chavez with it here. Worked inside to Dillon, the return. He's run off the ball on the outside. And a goal kick given. Alfonso Ocampo Chavez limp beyond the goal line after a late shoulder charge. This does not look good.
No movement, and he's in a very uncomfortable position to have not moved out of.
Rolls onto his back now. Down holding that same left knee that took contact in the first half from Sebastian Anderson. And Jesse Daly talking to referee Danielle Shesky, asking where the yellow card is for that.
And unfortunately for Tacoma, since Ocampo Chavez went down over the end line, play has continued.
See Ian Schweitzer here. There didn't seem to be much in that from Schweitzer. Just Ocampo Chavez lost his footing, landed awkwardly. Meanwhile, a dangerous through ball. Burkholz forced to turn it to the outside. Nick Hines is there, under pressure from Bone. He picks out Atencio. And Atencio will try to retain possession. Burkholz going over the top. It's turned over. Robinson. Argueta.
surprisingly patient switchbacks after that initial attack got snuffed out. They're up a man still.
Campo Chavez at midfield, screaming to be let back on here. Tacoma still playing with 10. He's allowed back now. It's Schweitzer. Work far side. Here's Jome. Jome's cross headed out by Berkholz. As far as Schweitzer. And the second effort bound for the touchline. Well, Campo Chavez, Dave, is having some real difficulty moving around. Seems to have worked his way through a little bit just now. But we'll definitely have to keep an eye on how long he's able to go.
4 of the 6 on the bench are essentially direct replacements for that winger role.
Argueta wanted to find Robinson. That shot whistles over the bar just wide of the frame of goal. And it took a touch on its way through. It'll be a corner. Jones set piece. Low ball, near post, still loose. Whistle already gone the other way. Defiance gonna play quickly here. And it'll be pulled back. Kick wasn't taken from the appropriate position. Robinson offside, and the flag is up.
Nifty little poke by Schweitzer, though, to step in and try to send that ball into a dangerous.
Leyva dispossessed. Schweitzer's come through his back. Free kick. Just past the hour mark here at Cheney Stadium, 30 minutes to go. And still no goals to separate these two sides. Well, not much of a secret in that challenge from Anthony Burke-Gilroy. And he's summarily got himself booked.
Is that the first time both Australians have been booked in the same game?
You know, I think we might have to turn to the advanced statcaster to track that one. Ethan Double-Air has subbed on here, replacing Jesse Daly. So now all 3 representatives who will represent Defiance and the Sounders organization at the U17 World Cup on the pitch at the same time. Yeah, not much left to the imagination on that challenge from Burke-Gilroy. Knew what he was doing.
Snuffed out the counterattack quickly.
Dillon with it here. Atencio. It's picked out Double-Air. Hines making the overlapping run. Double-Air cuts inside. Goes square to Leyva. Burke-Gilroy ahead for Hopia. And Tacoma looks like they want to recycle. Rogers tries the far side. Bone gets a header to it. And Anderson back to Rodriguez. Atencio wanted to go over the top and come all the way through to Rodriguez, who has not been put under too much pressure in terms of sustained build-up play. He's got Defiance players running at him every time he touches the ball on a back pass, but Tacoma has not really managed to get themselves downfield so far.
For all the success they had in the first half creating danger, this half has been one where the Switchbacks will be happy with, more pleased with their opportunities than Tacoma is with their own.
Burkholz wants Dillon over the top. Ocampo Chavez settling underneath the ball. Well, double air upended his man. And it is Jordan Schweitzer. Referee quickly calling for the training staff.
Schweitzer got bracketed by double air and Ocampo Chavez both.
Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth development platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Schweitzer going to step off the far side here as we get set to get back underway. Reeves back to Rodriguez. A low ball finds Jome on a very long overlap. Dillon's charging back. Puts in a shoulder against Jome. Jome gone down, gets the cross off though. It's headed away, goes the far touchline where it's controlled by Bone. He's back inside for Schweitzer. Schweitzer's right-footed effort, that'll be wide and out for a goal kick. Springs Switchbacks playing quickly. Poked away from Romero. Leyva, another tackle to recover.
Colorado Springs just swarming at Tacoma right now.
Hines trying to play after they break that initial net of pressure. They switch it to Dillon, who's drifted to a wide position. Campo Chavez now the center forward for Tacoma. And Hopiau inverted over to the left side. The through ball looking for Alfonso Ocampo Chavez. It's a foot race. AOC gets there, but Colorado Springs deals with the pressure. And just both these teams trying their best and neither being successful right now to establish any sort of possession whatsoever.
Essentially just a lot of chaos in the central third right now.
Jome rampaging forward. He's gone ahead for Saeed Robinson. Ball back to Hundley. Hundley from distance. Bouncing ball in for Trey Muse. Quick throw up toward Ocampo Chavez. Leyva trying to control it. Bone does battle with him. Double air has it. Atencio. And back to Rogers. Leyva comes through, wins the ball with a strong tackle, and the free kick after a brief advantage.
Interesting use of the foot there to pull Leyva back. It's kind of as a gaffer's hook.
Tacoma Defiance going to make a change now. It's their second. On comes Danny Robles to replace Shannon Hopiau.
You see Ethan Dobalero go out wide and Robles take that central role now.
Robles and Doubelaire worked well together in the past. They both bagged a goal in what was a big win at home for Tacoma over San Antonio FC. I'm sure Chris Little is thinking that the youngsters might be able to find a similar level of success here in the second half. Here's Tucker Bone for Romero. Anderson, and back to Reeves. Schweitzer, the hard turn under pressure from Robles, and then another. Rodriguez, pressure coming from Dillon, who slides in as the ball goes away. Here's Robinson. He's left it for Romero. Wide for Jome. And the cross cut out by Leyva. Doubelaire taking on Anderson. Lays this one through for Justin Dillon. Dillon, a touch to his left. Trying to turn the ball back. Can't get it to come off. A creative ball there from Ethan Doubelaire. Dillon gets a foot to it, but can't get off a shot. Thrown into Hundley. Jome just sends it back to Watabaye. Bone leaves that. This might fall in for Anderson. Sliding challenge from Hines, gets the ball off him, concedes the throw-in. Anderson into Robinson. Robinson flagged offside as he comes back to the ball. What a step by the Tacoma back line to leave the Jamaican offside.
Muse will have to take it wider than he wanted to.
And even wider still. Well, he moved that ball about 3 inches. Apparently, that was enough for the referee. Muse sends it down the touchline and must have gotten a hold of that one wrong.
Andrew, we have somebody in the booth with us, and they provided stats. That's actually the third time both Australians have picked up yellows.
Romero gone for goal at the near post, blocked by Muse. That's not necessarily surprising. There are two players on this Tacoma team that are definitely able to take advantage of having a bit of a bite to their game. Robles gives away the free kick on the far side. Now Jome wants to wind up the set piece. Another look at that shot from Romero. Well covered by Muse at the near post. Did well not to spill a rebound back to anyone who could come up with a follow-up shot. Jome plays it short for Schweitzer. Schweitzer lifting in that ball. And knocked past midfield on the Tacoma clearance. Header falls through. I believe that's Argueta that's put a shoulder in. Forgive me, it is Cesar Romero. Think about the little moments that make up what goes into a result, Dave. And that body shield to force the foul off Romero could be huge. That was a very inviting looking ball.
Yeah, Bert Gilroy is going to want the ice bath and then the hot bath and then the ice bath. He's been roughed up a little this evening.
Anderson wants to go down line for Bone. Ball falls to him. Robinson back to the outside. Here's Tucker Bone. Nick Hines runs him off the ball. Fights his way back to his feet.
Nick might be lucky as
Leyva fought off the ball. A shot from distance. And gone wide for a goal kick, Dave. Pardon the interruption.
the action required it. I was going to say Nick might be a little bit lucky that his body screened the center referee from the ball near his lower arms.
75 minutes played, 15 plus stoppage to go here at Cheney Stadium. Still no goals between these two sides, but the way this match has gone in the second half, it feels like we might have one in store. Ocampo Chavez laying it forward. The ball served in and knocked back wide by Watabaye. Just the fourth corner of the night for Tacoma. Ocampo Chavez, the quick restart. Bert Gilroy. His ball blocked right away. Back to Robles. Ocampo Chavez, and here's that net of pressure. He fights off a hard challenge from Bone. And Jome smashes it out for the throw. Dillon goes down in the box. Cleared away and corner given. Daniel Shesky wants a word now. Later and later this game goes, still level at 0-0. You start to see players, maybe not desperate is the right word, but eager on contact in the box. Ocampo Chavez serves in, ball headed back out by Jome. Argueta. Ocampo Chavez gets a foot to it, recycles it to Nick Hines, but he'll have pressure coming. Hines smashes that over the top. Rodriguez gives chase, as does Anderson. And it is turned back to the keeper. Watabaye. Out to Schweitzer. Argueta. Up to Robinson at midfield. The quick switch for Romero. He has Bone further wide and finds him. Bone upended by Hines. A fair challenge, the referee says. Hines with a little attitude steps over Bone in the aftermath. Thrown toward Robinson. Robles gets it as far as Leyva. Argueta pokes it away. Burt Gilroy, bouncing ball coming back to Trey Muse. You never like to see them as a keeper. It's what contributed to that misplay by Rodriguez earlier. In this case, it winds up in that throw-in.
Defiance a little frantic with those back passes at that point. Unplanned, unintentional.
I think everybody was a little bit surprised, including Trey Muse, maybe especially Trey Muse, that Burt Gilroy chose to hit that ball back to him.
Generally a bad idea to surprise your own keeper. Tucker Bone was drafted. Sounders FC told me they really liked him with the ball at his feet. He liked intricate, tiny passes, and they also liked his speed. They felt he has one of the game-changing speeds available in the draft, so it's an interesting matchup to see him with Nick Hines, who has done so well as one of the faster Defiance players this year.
Argueta slips over the ball. Now pushes wide to Robinson. Robinson could be in here. Still falls, it's loose, it takes a deflection, it rolls wide. Cesar Romero stepped onto that ball. And the shot takes a kind deflection. What a block out of this defense. Force the corner. Now Jones corner in the 80th. Served in, Muse goes up. Not sure if he got a hand to it, but somebody got a touch. And it bounces out the far side. It will be a Tacoma throw. Justin Dillon will come off here, make way for Marlon Vargas. 10 minutes to play, and the big man is off. Pardon me, this restart's been given as a corner for Colorado Springs. And they will take it from the near side. It's Hundley. Swinging in, Muse gets a hand to it. Double air, the header up toward the 18, still loose. Robinson trying to cut it back inside. Fights his way past double air. And now it's pushed wide to Robles. Leyva, no support. Whiffs it inside to Ocampo Chavez. Ocampo Chavez past midfield now. And a well-timed challenge from Schweitzer gets the ball off him cleanly. Ocampo Chavez still down behind the run of play. Here's Hundley up the near side. Burt Gilroy runs him off the ball and sends it away. That's Atencio, pardon me, that stayed down. And I did not get a good look at that as Josh Atencio managed to swing that ball downfield.
Burt Gilroy does a great job picking that ball up, and it looks like 29 there with Colorado Springs just came through Josh after the ball cleared the.
And that's what Atencio is saying right now. He wants to stay. He has to come off for a moment as the trainer came on for him. The play was blown dead while the ball was still in active play, so we'll restart with a drop ball. And it'll be Tacoma and Marlon Vargas to send it back.
7 minutes and stoppage left. Both teams feel that they should be able to win this game.
Both these teams might feel they've done enough to win it already. Everything, of course, except for put a ball in the back of the net. Long throw from Burke Gilroy. Popped out of play. Marlon Vargas was trying to help himself to 15 free yards there. He won't get it, but he will receive the throw-in. Jome forced to take a touch. And that ball cleared away. And out for a Tacoma corner. Robles with it here. Robles' corner. Over the head of Atencio. Might fall here for double air. Leyva on the follow-up, and that one sails high. Now Ethan Double Air had goal of the week on his mind as he was teeing up that volley. Couldn't get it to come off.
An alert play here by Ethan, but just can't get it through the traffic. Leyva pounces and sends it over the traffic, unfortunately.
Hundley has it at midfield here. Up to Jome. Pushed further wide. The cutback cross looking for Bone. He can't put his effort on frame. Fans, tune into ESPN3 on Saturday, October 19th at noon Pacific for a special game of the week to close out the 2019 season. A home playoff match is at stake when Real Monarchs SLC hosts Sacramento Republic FC. The winner hosts a playoff match, while the loser potentially goes to the play-in game. Catch all the drama Saturday, October 19th at noon Pacific on ESPN3. Ball down the left side. Jome, the cross, searching in. That comes off the head of Burkholz. Trey Muse tried to track it down for it, went out. He can't find it. And a 9th corner upcoming for Colorado Springs.
It's interesting that the Switchbacks have only made the one change so far, and that was all the way back in the first half, 21st minute.
Hundley, short restart. Jome trying to float that ball in. Burkholz claws it free. Schweitzer sends it over the top. And that'll be held in by Muse. He wasn't sure if it took a touch. He didn't want to find out. Thrown out for Double Air. And too large a first touch from Ethan Double Air. Ball returned to sender. Oh, that move looked pretty enticing as it started to develop. Dave, I saw you get up out of your seat. Danny Robles available up the middle. Leyva's won the free kick after the mid-air bump.
Just 4 minutes left.
This game being played on a knife edge right now. Bone through the challenge from Hines. Nearly runs over the referee. And back to Argueta. They picked out Anderson on the far side. He wants to switch. He's looking for Hundley. Ball well in front of Hundley. Anthony Burke-Gilroy heads it out for a corner. The 10th for the visitors.
Burke-Gilroy is trying to create an angle and turn on that, but couldn't quite get the header that he wanted.
The 89th minute, the corner from Jome. And the whistle had already gone for some infraction inside the penalty area against Colorado Springs. Well, Reeves blocked that ball. He paid a bit of a hefty toll to do it. Robles has turned here. Gone wide for double air. The return to Robles. Defending intensely, Colorado Springs forced Tacoma back. Square to Atencio. And further still to Burke Gilroy. Here's Vargas. Leyva chipping that ball through. It could be on the square. And the flag's gone up for offside. The goal won't count. Alfonso Ocampo Chavez has just realized it. And the fans haven't quite realized it yet here at Cheney Stadium, but they will soon. Here it is again. Leyva chips that ball over the top, and Marlon Vargas was the one offside. He squares that ball beautifully to Alfonso Ocampo Chavez, but he's too far downfield. And Defiance, who thought they'd grabbed a 90th minute potential game winner, now back to 0-0. We'll play 3 minutes of stoppage time here in the second half. Long ball pumped over the top. AOC tracking underneath it. Takes an awkward first bounce on him. Burkholz does well to keep that ball in play. Leyva's turn. Alfonso Ocampo Chavez wants the through ball. He plays it low. Here's Reeves. Double air, lunging in. They go back to Rodriguez. Well, a thunderous ball downfield from Sam Rogers, but there's no one there to receive it. Leyva is tripped up there. Time running short. Second minute of stoppage time now. And they restart. Gone out wide to Hines. Hines is cross, searching in. Rodriguez, I think, got a hand to it. It's still loose, and it's a corner.
Tacoma playing with urgency. They just need to capitalize on it.
Robles for the in-swinger. Chops that ball, and it's gone in! Josh Atencio has grabbed 3 points for Tacoma at the death. The corner from Danny Robles, and the finish from the man wearing the captain's armband.
Perfect service from Danny Robles, and that header couldn't be drawn up better on a chalkboard. Wide open and well placed.
Atencio gets his first goal of the season, and at what a moment. After a choppy game and a real battle, Josh Atencio has pulled Tacoma back and put them in front late in stoppage time. He'll be shepherded over the halfway line here. Slowed things down so he had a chance to retie his shoe. Dave, he scored the game winner with his shoe untied.
His first ever professional goal was by borrowing Sam Rogers' shoes.
We're back underway. How much further will we go here at Cheney Stadium?
Josh came in as a sub and found out that he'd blown out his own shoe in warm-ups.
Schweitzer. It's desperation time for Colorado Springs. Ocampo Chavez. Might be space for Blavo. He's gone for Robles. Danny Robles won't be able to carry it through. He could still be in here. He's made it two! Danny Robles, a second goal in stoppage time. Tacoma will be taking 3 points, there's no doubt. Second goal of the year, second of his career for Danny Robles. And the substitute caps things off with a bang here at Cheney Stadium.
See Alfonso Ocampo Chavez with a brilliant through ball. And that's persistence from Danny Robles. The ball, some players would give up on that after the attempted clearance by the Switchbacks, but Robles chases it down.
Oh, we might have actually just found more stoppage time in front of us. Colorado Springs pushing for a goal now, but it'll only be a consolation goal. Back for Argueta. Wide for Jome. Jome, that ball blocked. Rogers heads it to the touchline. Referee Danielle Chesky checking her watch. Thrown in by Jome. He controls it on the near side. Cuts in a low ball. Smash clear by Burkholz. The whistle's in her mouth, and Danielle Chesky has sounded for full time here at Cheney Stadium. 2 late goals from Tacoma Defiance, and they win 2-0 over Colorado Springs. What an ending, Dave.
That's persistence. That's the second half that Defiance have shown, and they get the shutout against the Colorado Springs Switchback side that was looking to impress their first match coach in Alan Gotch.
Well, with the win, Tacoma Defiance leapfrogs Colorado Springs in the standings. They will finish on 27 points on the night, 7-19-6, and 6-7-3 at home. And what a night. Robles came on. You saw Alfonso Ocampo Chavez was pressing forward. There was space for those layoffs. And what a way to reward him for that second goal. But how about Danny Robles? A goal, an assist. What a finish from Josh Atencio. Just one of those moments where, like you said, they left it late, but they dug deep and came up with a huge result.
Yeah, and that's a squad that in March, April, and May, we wouldn't have seen that from Tacoma Defiance. That's a sign of the maturity, the learning process that they've gone through as these teenagers have become adult men right before our eyes here on ESPN Plus and at Cheney Stadium.
And Josh Atencio had a pretty physical shift. He wound up on the deck a couple of times, but I don't think he'll be feeling any pain tonight. Or if he does, he certainly won't be telling anyone about it. Just an emphatic header from him to grab his first of the season and the game winner. You can't ask for more out of your captain. And this is Atencio trying to corral everyone together. It's Defiance's favorite part of a home victory, celebrating with the support. A massive win for Defiance on the night. And they finished 2-0 over Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Dave, your final thoughts as this team heads into the final week of the season?
They've got a busy week, but they know that now they can say they've had a better year than last year, which is an important mark for them. And they've got the opportunity to pass 2 years if they win these next 2 matches.
Well, They'll go on the road to play New Mexico United away on October 16th at 6 p.m., but they'll be right back here to wrap up the regular season against Austin Bold FC on Saturday, October 19th at 7 p.m. We will have that match for you here, but that is going to do it for us here from Cheney Stadium. For all of us on our crew, including Dave Clark, I'm Andrew Harvey saying so long. Thank you for joining us here on ESPN+, and we hope to see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.